It's quite a bit of effort to break these 2 to 3 inch vines. As you can see, that one was about at the edge of what this tool could do. One needs to break loose all of the about dozen vines there are on this tree. And a year from now, we will come back and pull them back out of the tree. But the goal right now is to simply remove everything from growing on the top, which will allow the tree to get photosynthesis. And it will also stop the Oriental bittersweet from sucking all the water from the bottom of the tree. As you can see, it looks like there's an incredible knot. This isn't even the most extreme case. We have some cases that look like they're straight from science fiction movies. It appears that the vines are growing much faster than the trees these days. The vines tend to wrap around each other, and this is an example of actually a couple of vines that are wrapped around each other that have died away a little while ago. But they tend to use each other for support, and you can see here that this vine is wrapped around each other. And this vine, you can actually see the sap coming out, and you can count it looks like about 20 rings, so it's in the 20-ish years old. This one may be a little older because it's a little larger. We've seen them up to 30. They seem to grow very, very fast in the last couple of years. I'm trying to remove these raspberries so that I don't get harmed on the way in, because we're a little late in the year to be cutting these things. As you can see, this tree is very infested with Oriental bittersweet. And you essentially have to disconnect all of these from the top of the tree. You'll see when we're done with this activity, with perhaps a saw, we can completely disconnect this tree and hopefully save it. I'm going to cut this vine, and you'll see how much water this vine takes from the surrounding area.
This is what kind of plant is it?
This is a grapevine, and it may even be native, but you can see water dripping out of it. These plants drip for hours, so it is just consuming all of the liquid that is needed for the survival of these trees. It's my belief that you get a destruction in both by taking away its photosynthesis ability and by removing its available water source. Now, I can't clip this one. It is too big for this tool. And to actually remove the non-spiraled tree, I need a larger device. This must be the order of 40 years old. No one has done anything to maintain these as we get a little bit back from the road for a very, very long time here. It then wants to go up to the top of this larger tree and get as much sunlight as possible. Many of these trees have almost no branches except at their extreme crown, as the vines have completely taken out all of the sunlight directly around them.
That's actually a vine circling around a vine.
Yes.
That you've got there.
So there are two Oriental bittersweets circling around each other, somehow using each other for support until they can manage to get up into the branches of this pine tree. I don't know how this starts, but we tend to see lots of this where they work their way around each other and they use each other for enough support to get their way up into the branches of the tree. It's kind of like two people living together and having kids so they can collect welfare and make their way up the tree. sorry, this is very, very destructive to our forests. And somebody has to make this go away. Unless we don't want the forest to survive. Because these hardwood trees, it's interesting, this is a mixed forest, and they don't seem to kill the pines quite as quickly as they kill the hardwoods, but they are now, it's as if they're now working on the pines because they've started knocking down so many of the hardwoods that the pines are the only thing left to collect the free trip to the top on.